Let's now go to George Anthony DeVolder Santos. George Santos, the lying congressman who was arrested yesterday on 13 criminal counts, held a manic, unhinged press conference after being arrested. It's wacky. We're going to look at it. It's just really, really wacky stuff. And he is trying to do the Trump thing where he says it's a witch hunt and it's all unfair and blah, 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 blah. He gives this event in Islip, New York. Vish Bura is the guy, if you're watching, in the blue checkered suit over Santos's right shoulder. He's increasingly a corrosive actor in Republican politics there in Long Island. Let's listen to what Santos had to say. And this is crazy. I'm warning you, this is bonkers stuff.
You guys, look, this is the beginning of the ability for me to address and defend myself. We have an indictment. We have the information that the government wants to come after me on, and I'm going to comply. I've been complying throughout this entire process. I have no desire not to comply at this point. They've been gracious in there. Now I'm going to have to go and fight to defend myself. The reality is I'm sorry, it's a witch hunt, because it makes no sense that in 4 months, 5 months, I'm indicted. You have Joe Biden's entire family receiving deposits from 9.
The crowd not reacting positively to that.
9 family members receiving money from foreign destinations into their bank accounts. It's been years of exposing. A lot of you here have reported on them, and yet no investigation is launched into them. I'm going to fight. I'm getting back to that. I'm going to fight my battle. I'm going to deliver.
All right. So it's a witch hunt, he says. Asked whether he will resign, he says that he will not.
Congressman, and again, you will not resign.
I will not resign.
Congressman,
I will not resign. Now, he may be kicked out. One interesting thing that happened in the last 24 hours is that Kevin McCarthy, the Republican Speaker of the House, said, I do not support the reelection of George Santos. Now, you might say, who cares if Kevin McCarthy doesn't support it? In general, Republican leadership supports the reelection of Republicans who are running for reelection. So this could be the beginning of Republicans actually saying, we've got to do something about this. Hilariously, George Santos was asked, why did you apply for unemployment benefits when you were making 120 grand a year working? And of course, this is one of the different frauds that he's alleged to have committed. And he says, well, this is all going to be part of my defense.
In an orderly fashion, and we'll start right here. Go ahead, Rachel.
Why would you apply for unemployment benefits when you had a job making $120,000 a year?
By the way, for people who are watching, there's about 80, if we're not watching, there's about 80 microphones in front of him. It almost looks satirical. And there's a guy in the back holding a sign that says, DeVolder defrauds devoters, which is just a beautiful touch. This SNL can't do anything with this because it wouldn't look any different to parody this event.
This is part of my defense. This is inaccurate information, and I will get to clear my name on this. During the pandemic, it wasn't very clear. I don't understand where the government's getting their information, but I will present my facts.
Prosecutors say that you got over $20,000 in unemployment benefits, sir. How is that acceptable?
Ma'am, like I said, my employment was changed during the time. I don't understand where the government's coming from. I'll present my defense.
He's all totally confused. At another moment, he completely delusionally says that in a couple of years, he'll be chairman of a committee in the House. Now, listen, he may or may not make it out of the next month. I don't know. It depends on what Republicans are going to do. The idea that he's going to get reelected and subsequently become the chair of a committee really is a level of delusion that raises a lot of red flags.
Well, look, the way I look at it, I'll be a chairman of a committee in a couple of years if you just look at the standards of Congress. Look at the Senate.
There you go. Soon, this is no worse than anything everybody else is doing in the House and Senate. So he'll be chairman of a committee. Trying to put sort of a positive spin on this entire thing, he says he's feeling fine despite 13 criminal charges.
Please? I'm feeling, look, it's hard.
Look forward. Yes, thank you.
I'm addressing one of your colleagues here. I don't want to give the back of. So, as usual, Jody, I do my best to be a positive person. Life is already as bad as it gets out there. So I'm fine.
And somebody yelling his lips are moving, therefore he must be lying is the implication. Okay, this is maybe the funniest moment. He starts talking about getting back to Washington, D.C. to vote on it like a border bill. He's pretending to be a normal congressman. And there's something so funny. Like, yes, members of Congress vote on bills, but the idea that this guy is going to now be able to just pretend to be a normal congressman with 13 criminal counts against him is a joke.
You're headed to Washington now.
Yes, I am. I have to go back and vote. Tomorrow we have one of those consequential votes in this Congress, which is a border bill, and I'm very looking forward to being there to vote on it.
All right, he's going to pretend to be a normal congressman. And then lastly, Fox News caught up with DeSantos. With Santos's lawyer on the way out, the lawyer was mostly interested in finding his car, but he did say, I don't really have anything to do with Santos choosing to hold that wacky press conference.
You didn't have too much that you wanted to share at this time. He just talked himself. What do you have to say about how your client is feeling right now?
Hold on a second. Let me just find my car.
He's looking for his car, but hold on with us, Martha. I mean, he had a lot to say in that press conference,
Yeah,
but
that's up to him.
Okay, I know you said you didn't want to try it in the media, but how is he feeling? He looked a little nervous when he was in court today. A lot of serious allegations.
How many times have you been arrested?
All right. So making the point that people just get nervous when they get arrested, but that it's really up to Santos whether he holds these press conferences. So a completely manic, wacky event. It's taking on a sort of circus sideshow feel. And it seems as though Santos can't get away from circus sideshows. We're going to see it. We'll see if this guy survives the next month. I hope he doesn't, but I don't have a prediction right now. I love my car, which is electric. I love my bicycle. And I have to say that the perfect medium in between is my electric bike by Lectric. If you're looking to spend about $800 or so on an e-bike, Lectric is where you want to go. I've tried e-bikes that cost $7,000, and Lectric delivers the same performance and specs, but at a much more reasonable price point. I take my Lectric e-bike everywhere these days. I've almost completely ditched my regular bike for now. E-bikes are, of course, better for the environment than taking a car. The e-bike gives you more flexibility and range than a regular bicycle. You can go further. You can see more. My e-bike is just my favorite form of cardio at this point. It comes fully assembled to your door. It includes a bright LCD display, 7-speed gearing, 5 levels of pedal assist, and a powerful battery that's removable so you can bring it indoors for charging. It's also fully foldable, so I can put it in the back of my car, and they have financing for as little as $73 a month. Go to lectricebikes.com to learn more. Explore all of the incredible e-bike models they offer. The link is down below.